Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime back for another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review, and it's another Obi-Wan review, so you know what that means.
Hello there.
So anyway, we're going to be looking at Obi-Wan and Vader from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So anyway, let's just get right on into the review by starting with that packaging. And now taking a look at their packaging, right up front here it says Star Wars The Black Series, down here it says their names. Got the windows showcasing the figures, got some nice artwork here on this side. And then here on the back just has their names, their images, and the little bios right there, and says number 1 and 2, and that's really it for the packaging. But yeah, that is really it for the packaging. Getting Darth Vader's accessory out of the way, because he only comes with the one. He's got his lightsaber handle right here, which is painted up very well and actually looks really clean. And then he comes with the red lightsaber blade, which obviously this can connect into the lightsaber hilt itself. Looks very nice. And obviously the reason why this feature is here is so you can detach this and you can hook it onto Vader himself. Taking a look at Kenobi's accessories, yes, I'm counting the cloak as an accessory. It's just out of this soft brown cloth material, and honestly, it's kind of hard to work with and fidget around with to get onto Kenobi. But it is here. I'll feature that in a second. And then Kenobi obviously comes with his lightsaber, which has the blue blade. One of my issues with Obi-Wan's lightsaber translated in action figure form is this area right here always seems like it could so easily break with one good snap. So try to be careful with this. And also he does feature a little peg right there, which allows you to pegs onto Obi-Wan's belt over here. Kenobi also comes with this little blaster pistol, which looks very good, and this can also just holsters into the gun holster over here. And then finally, Kenobi comes with Lola here, and word of advice about Lola here, don't lose her. Lola does feature some nice painting and sculpting with the red and white and the glossy black eye. There's also some little ball joints here, so you can make her little ear flappy things move around. She also has a ball joint down here by her legs, the little retractable legs. And also these are on a ball joint, so it is easily removable, so you can have her hover around. And also, speaking of hovering around, she does come with this little hover stand, which is made of a very brittle plastic, and yet the ball joint is very stiff to get in there, so you might end up risk bending or breaking this little stand, so be careful of that. And so this little clear stand thing makes Lola look like she's floating in Obi-Wan's hand. Only one other accessory I almost forgot about because I almost lost it. Here is a little saw blade that comes with Lola. Don't lose it. And now starting our look at Darth Vader himself. He looks good. I mean, there's nothing much to really say about Darth Vader's design. It's iconic. It's menacing. There's nothing much to really say about his design. Frick. My microphone fell off of its mounting. Like I said, the action figure looks like Vader, and the design is really cool, but how does the figure feel and portray Lord Vader? Well, I can say that for the most part, the figure's molding and sculpting and its paintwork looks really well. Obviously, the helmet sculpt looks really good. Main differences between this and previous Vaders is there's a subtle dark silver paint going across the face, almost sort of giving it like a cel-shaded kind of look. But it is something a little bit different that I had to mention. And then, coming down to the chest, it's got the cloth goods with those buttons and the panel to help with his breathing system. He's got the chest plate, got the gauntlets, the gloves, the wrinkles, everything is sculpted in there. He's got the belt buckle with all the buttons and everything. There's his shin guards and his boots. And again, very nice sculpted detail, goes all over the place. But the cape here, honestly, I really wish they'd come up with a better way to make this thing more manageable. My main issue with the Vader cape is just how ridiculously big they make this thing. This cloth piece doesn't need to be this huge freaking Batman wing spread. Because it's so big, it feels like it just kind of gets in the way as you're trying to pose him around. Speaking of posing him around, the head can look up and down. It can swivel from side to side, but not really any pivoting or anything. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move in and out. He does get an elbow swivel, bend at the elbow. Both of his wrists hinge up and down, and I believe this one hinges horizontally. No, this one also hinges in the same direction. He does get a waist swivel, but it is limited by the cloth goods right here. His hips can kick forward that far, they can kick back that far, they can move outward that far. He does get a thigh swivel, double bend at the knee, and then his ankles can move up and down, and he does get an ankle pivot. So very good articulation on Darth Vader. I just wish that the cape made it less of a chore to actually pose him. Taking a look at Ewan McGregor himself, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, the head sculpt here looks pretty good. I mean, it has most of the likeness of Ewan McGregor. I can't really tell if Hasbro really used a whole lot of that photoreal technology here, but for some reason the head doesn't look too realistic in a way. I also don't like how metallic or like how much his face shimmers. It looks like he's constantly sweating, I guess. But the beard and everything looks good. The hair looks nice. Would have liked maybe a little bit more depth maybe in the paint on the hair, but it still looks good nonetheless. And again, wrinkles going down the arms look very good. It provided a little bit of dynamicness to the figure, I guess. Dynamicness. His hands and his knuckles look good. He's got the belt all painted up with that. Especially looks good with the lightsaber right there. And then the pants and everything look good. And then there is his boots right down there. Going over Obi-Wan's posability, he has a ball joint at the base of the neck and at the top of the neck, so it can move all over the place, up, down, left, right, can pivot side to side, and all that good stuff. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move in and out. He does get a bicep swivel, bend at the elbow. Wrists can rotate and they can hinge, but it can barely do anything because of his sleeves. He does have a diaphragm joint, which allows for an arcing back, and that does provide a little bit of gappage, but obviously because this is a shifting piece, you can shift it up and down to cover up the gap. He can also ab crunch a little bit. Waist swivel. Hips can move forward, they can move back, they can move outward that far. He does get a thigh swivel, a knee swivel, bend at the knee, and then his ankles can move up and down, and then he gets an ankle pivot. So very good articulation here on Obi-Wan Kenobi. But just like the Darth Vader, as I mentioned, the hood here is so overly sized, and a lot of the material here seems a little overly big, to the point that it becomes so unmanageable and hard to pose Obi-Wan in, even though I know this cape would make him look a lot better. But one thing that cannot be denied is that Darth Vader and Obi-Wan will always look cool together, especially when you have them posed up with each other in their lightsabers. It just always looks awesome, no matter what. And then here is Darth Vader and Obi-Wan compared next to the last Star Wars The Black Series figures I reviewed. The Star Wars Battlefront 2 gaming greats 501st Jetpack Trooper and the Umbra Operative. So that's it for comparisons. Actually, let's do one more. Here is Obi-Wan and Vader next to the last Obi-Wan I reviewed, the Revenge of the Sith Archive Series Obi-Wan. That's it for the comparisons. I think the photoreal tech in these head sculpts is a lot more apparent when you have them side by side. Ooh. And that is basically it for my review on the Star Wars The Black Series, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader from the Kenobi series. And also Lola, I guess. But if I had to give it, I really do like both of these figures. The Darth Vader is simplistic, I guess you could say, because it is just the same Darth Vader design that has been merchandised to crap. If you've already owned previous Black Series Darth Vaders, this one doesn't really do anything new. This one basically is just slapped in with a new packaging design, and then it's just, branded for the Kenobi show. It's just Hasbro's way of making that little bit of extra money, or I guess it could be a helpful way for those who missed out on those original releases of the Darth Vader Black Series. The Kenobi, on the other hand, is pretty good for what it is. I do feel like the design is alright. I mean, it's Kenobi in hiding, but my main issues with both of these figures is their capes. I really wish Hasbro found a better way to manage their cape quality control issues with just I'm just getting really irritated by how big they have to make everything, and it makes it so unmanageable and really hard to pose around, and it also makes some of the figures feel kind of cheap, especially when trying to pose them around. And cheap is something you don't want to feel on a figure, especially when Hasbro is inflating prices and everything. Another thing I appreciate about the Kenobi is how many accessories he comes with. He comes with a lot more accessories than Vader. He has the blaster, he has Lola, he has the cape, and the lightsaber. So it kind of justifies his price a little bit more. And also I do like that photoreal technology face. Honestly, if I had to give these figures a rating, I give the Darth Vader a solid 7 out of 10. Maybe more closer to an 8, because I do have to admit, or maybe even closer to a 9. Because the thing is, I still love playing around with the Darth Vader, and he's always cool no matter what. So the price for him, I can justify. But for the Kenobi, maybe a little bit less so. I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about the pricing. But about the figures themselves, though, the Vader I give a solid 8 out of 10, set in stone. And the Kenobi I also give a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's basically it for this review. If you guys enjoyed the review, be sure to give me a like on the video. Comment down below what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see me review more in the future. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.